Hi everybody, happy Friday, we're back. And today I'm going to have a little discussion of how to make unusual memory wire bracelets. I'm getting to be a little bit known for mine. I sell a lot of memory wire bracelets. You could say, oh, that's an easy thing, whatever. And you know what it is? It's a great way to get going again if you're in a little slump. Just get a pile of beads and start stringing them. It's a great thing to do. But I like to make mine with intention. So what I do is I kind of plan them out, and I look for unusual things to put together, and I think that's why they work out the way they do. So I have one all planned, so if you like, come on over here. I'll show you how I plan it out and how I go about constructing a very unusual boutique style over the top memory wire bracelet. Okay, so what in the world am I talking about? You know, we've made memory wire bracelets before. I have a couple other videos about them and stuff. But what I'm talking about is using unique and different things on the bracelet. Actually, this one's kind of calm and normal for me. But I made it yesterday with someone in mind. And it's mostly Czech beads, Picasso beads, and it's a lot of semi-precious in here. I've got imperial jasper, mixed impression jasper, and I liked putting these little sticks on here because I thought it made it cool. I'll show you what it looks like on. So this one's like a 4-row. A lot of times I'll do them a little bit bigger, but I'm finding with the 4-row it's more comfortable and easier to wear. But see, the sticks kind of go in place where you want them to. And this, yeah, the 4-row is really kind of more comfortable. I was doing them like 6 or 7 and they were wild. But you want to wear something that's comfortable, right? So anyway, so I do these, and normally I'll put like a little dangle on the ends, but I didn't on this one. I didn't get there. But anyway, just to give you an idea of what she's talking about, you know. So I'm going to show you how I go about it because there's, you know, so much on here. Let's see, is everything on camera, Javi? I'll have to pull it back. Let me pull this stuff back here so you can see it. So what I've done is I have a plan here, which for me is kind of odd because as an assemblage artist, a lot of times I just pull stuff. Let's see what happens. And there's a little bit of that going on here too, because for me, making a memory wire bracelet that's unique and different is a lot like assemblage. I'm looking for the disparate things and try to match them up and see if you can do the uninspected. If you can take colors you don't normally mix and see what happens. And lately I've been using a lot of semi-precious, which I really am enjoying. So what I have here in the way of beads is I've got some, if I'm saying it right, Chalcedony. This is Chalcedony in situ, which means it's taken some of the natural rock that they found it in, and it's really, really wonderful. It's got kind of a periwinkle blue to it. And then I have cornflake pearls, or Keshi, from Japan, which this is another special love of mine. They look great.
Very beautiful.
We have some at the site too. These are especially nice ones. And then I have some of our molten lava beads. This is what they look like off the strand. These are really cool. I just found these recently. They're gold, not gold, they're glass, I mean. And then they have this enamel over top that looks like molten lava. It's really unique. They're made in India. Very cool. So I have those. And then this, Javi's over there drooling. She's like, gimme, gimme, gimme. These are blue goldstone. And they look like stars on a beautiful night. It's like a midnight blue color, very dark, like a midnight Montana type blue.
Yeah.
It does not go with sapphire. I'll tell you that. So, well, here's some sapphire looking stuff so you can see. It's not a good match. So anyway, so it's got to have its own deal going on. So I thought, well, how about blue goldstone, molten lava, Keshi pearl, and the Chalcedony in situ. And then we're going to do maybe a few bone beads. And maybe we'll do, because I like the organic type look, along with unexpected. We might do some of these little orbit beads that just came in the other day. These are so cool. They're acrylic, but they're designer acrylic, and they're really unique. So I kind of like how that looks against that. Let me show you here, here. But they got gold bands on them. You know, you'd think they'd have silver, but they don't. They look good. I like them with this. You might be saying, no, I don't think so, but I think so. So, but that's what you do. It's like, what looks good to you that's unique and different, instead of just, you know, making patterns of one color on a strand, which is fine. You can do that, but this is a little bit more exciting. Then I brought down with me, I like to put bling on them. So here I've got Czech AB. These are big hole rondelles, very hard to find. We have a few at the website, not a lot. I tend to go crazy with these a little bit. These are the Jet AB ones with the awesome stuff. These are the silver ones. I get them in different sizes, and I like to put them on too because that's kind of an unexpected finish. Let me show you how they look. I'll just nestle them down in between. See, awesome. They just bring it kind of to life, you know. So without these, it just doesn't look as good. So I make free use of them. Maybe you can find something else because you can get into some money with them. Then I like to use these ring beads, which we have on the site at beadsboutiques.com. And these are so cool and so special. I can't have enough of them. So I'll be using some ring beads on my design. And while we're together today, I will not get done because this will take me probably 2-3 hours because I do it, like I told you, with intention. I think about it a lot. And sometimes I'll get so far as saying, and I'll go back and take them off. But with memory wire, it's easy to do. It's not like you have to unstring the whole thing. So it's just on memory wire, just slide it back off and you're good to go. So we're going to, you know, see how far we get. But I showed you a completed type one so you could kind of get a feeling for the idea of lots of... I'm sorry. Yeah, it would help if I showed it in camera. Hobby said, bring it back here. It's just to give the idea of a lot of chotch on a bracelet that's a little bit different. Although this one's not as different as a lot of them I've made. Just leave that here. So we have that. And the last thing I have is I have noodle tube beads, which I love to use a lot. I don't mind if I mix my metals in this. There's nothing wrong with that. I've got some spacer beads down in there, and I've also got gold spacers. These are very cool. These work because they'll slide over the noodles usually. So I'm going to just pick a few of those out so we can get going and make some tracks here with some of this stuff. Okay, so, and I've got some bead caps. And these are raw brass actually, but I like the look of raw brass with all the bling because it's just a little bit of dull, a little bit of rocky, earthy look, and a little bit of bling together is my kind of look. I love that. So I've got some gold-plated memory wire. It's stainless steel memory wire. It comes from our site. We carry it. You can find it there, and we have it in 3 sizes. The one I'm using is 2 1/4 diameter. We have 1 7/8. We have 2 inches in this one. I like the bigger one because we're using bigger beads here. And the bigger beads you use, the more space you need to go around the rest. So I'm going to count this off. See, I want to be sure I have enough. I want to have at least 4 going around my wrist. 1, 2, 3. Come on. I will go out this far. I can always take some off if I don't use it all. And let me see where that last piece is stopping, right here. I like to kind of cut it off in the same place. Yeah. Oh, here we go. And I'm just using flush cutters. It's really better to use memory wire cutters because you'll dull these, but if you don't use them that often for it, I think you'll be okay. I think we have them at this. Do we have memory wire cutters?
I don't know if we do still.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, we'll get some. But you don't have to. We do have the flush cutters, so that's good. So now what I do is I take, and it likes to twist over on itself because I have quite a few here, coils. As I'll take the very end. And actually what I have a memory wire looper too that's awesome, and I didn't bring it down, rats. But it'll make a really cool loop on the end, but I'm just going to make do with this. So I've got my wolfies here, and I'm just going to just twist it and turn it a little bit. And that makes my end. Yeah, just make a little loop. They do have little bead balls that are half drilled that you can, or you could use a half drilled bead and glue it on the end, and that works too. But I like to have the option of hanging something off the end. So, gotta leave it empty. I'm gonna do that. Okay. Not the best loop in the world, but it'll do for now. So now we have to start stringing. So what do? Well, the first thing I'm going to look for is a smaller bead for my end. So what do I have here that would work? Okay, let me cut some of these apart. And I always cut them at the ends, because then that way, if you take them off from the end, it's always easier to tie them back off, which is good. Come on, guys. Come on off of there. And these seem to have fairly decent holes in them, too. Sometimes you get the natural stones and they have really tiny holes, and that doesn't work out too good. Then I have these here. We'll do these. These are 8mm blue goldstone. Where's the end? Okay, here it is. Take some of those off. Maybe we'll put that on the end. Normally I go like with a 6mm type bead, but I'd have to dig a little bit too long to get one. So we're going to use a little bit bigger at the end. It'll still look really great. So we'll start that by taking some off. And then I'm going to get these, might as well just get them ready. So I have these already off. I'm going to take a few of my Keshi beads from the end. These are just, I just love the wonky baroqueness of Keshi beads. Keshi pearls, I should say, not beads. Come on. Might be time to swap out my cutters. Yeah, you know, cutters only last so long, and if you use them a lot. Maybe it just isn't like that cord, I don't know. They're usually pretty good cutters, but I've had that pair for a while, so yeah. It doesn't matter if you pay a lot of money or a little bit of money, you will be swapping them out in time. No, none of them last forever. Sure. So we have a really good, reliable one at our website from Xuron that's not as pricey as some of them out there. So that's the one I use. I don't like to spend, you know, $40, $50 for a flush cutter that I know I'm going to have to swap out.
Yeah.
You know, in a year or two.
It's going to be swapped out no matter what.
Yeah, so anyway, okay, so where's my thing? Okay, so let's start with this. Let's do some of the 8mm at the end of this. And I don't work in patterns. I go more for balance. You're going to see that. You're going to say, Brenda, you know, why you don't have a pattern? You don't have to. If you like patterns, then do a pattern. You don't have to. I hold this toward me normally because that's the best way to string it, and I just start putting them on. I look for balance, and if I get far enough today, I'll show you what that is. Okay, I should have probably put, yeah,
probably put what?
Bead cap.
Oh.
Bead caps are frames for your beads. See, this happens, and I hate this. If somebody has a good way of keeping this from happening, please tell me. I'm all ears, and I'll share it. Especially when you're doing the bigger, longer ones. You can always get it, you know, untangled. It's just a pain. Okay, so I'm going to put a bead cap on first, and I'm going to put it on dome side facing out. So it's going to go this way. Wait a minute. I think I told you wrong. Yeah, because I want it to end up like this. So I'm wrong. No, cup side facing out. I don't know why. I just had a brain disturbance or something there. I just wasn't thinking. Okay, so now I'm going to do a blue goldstone. And now I'm going to do, let's see, this is what takes the time. I'm going to do.
Put another bead cap first? Or?
Yeah, I'll do another bead cap. Thanks, Javi, for the prompt. We had one of them days. I hope you're not having one of them days. But I was determined, no, I want to keep on track, getting one out every week now. And I had this plan, so let's go for it. Okay, here's a piece of the Chalcedony. I hope I'm saying that right. I should have looked it up.
Don't worry, I don't say nothing right.
Well, you know, when you're up here trying to teach somebody how to do something, you got to say it right. Okay, so now I'm going to let them just swing around a little bit. And I know this looks terribly clumsy, guys, but it's because...
Maybe put a plier at the end.
Yeah, you know, or one of those bead stopper things probably would be a good thing. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it for now. We're just going to keep going. Okay, so now I think I will do a small piece of bling next to that because it's a rock and I like to do it that way, kind of match them up that way. And then I think I'll put a tube on. And I have these pretty noodle tubes that are kind of...
Yeah, I kind of like the swirl.
Yeah, I like the
kind.
swirling one. The swirling one.
The swirly
I'm going to
kind.
put the swirling one on here and do a noodle tube next. Because I don't want it to be real thick at the back of my wrist. Yeah, if you turn it like this, you'll have more success. And then I'm going to do... Will that one fit over it? Not quite. Okay, I want to do some that fit over it. So this one should work. This is gold. I love mixed metals, so that's why I'm doing it. If you wonder why, what are you doing? It's because I love mixed metals. Now, is this going to go over? Some of them do and some of them
I don't
don't.
think that would work.
Yeah, it does work.
Oh, it works.
Just went
It
over.
went over?
Yeah, sometimes you just have to coax it a little bit. It went over and now it swung back. That's why I'm saying, see, I'm going fast and this is not a good idea, but I figured you guys don't want to sit here all day. So, anyway, so now I'm going to put a little bling with that. It'll all swing down over. Come here. Put a little bling with that. I'll put another spacer. I like to get some of the tube loaded up, but not too much. Then I'll put one of these ring beads, and then I'll put one of these deals on there, and then maybe one more of these. That'll be cool. Okay, and we'll get that to swing down over. And I'm going to go ahead and swing it over so that you can see how that looks on the noodle tube. Hope not. It's not going to see. Uh-huh. Yeah, I better swing that on down past so you can see. Since if I do this whole thing on here, you're gonna fall asleep. Because it takes time. So just, you know, don't worry about it. You know, if it takes time, you know, take an afternoon and plan it. Do it with intention. Make jewelry with intention, not speed. You're not on speed dial with your jewelry. Okay, come on. It would be easier if I did a shorter one, but then I won't like the look. I don't like, you know, 3 rings around your wrist. I should probably try it just because it'll go. We're just going to keep going.
Why don't you just pull the whole thing, Brenda, and then just...
Yeah, I thought about that, but it sometimes gets goofed up. That doesn't matter that those slid over there, by the way. I know it looks like I don't know what I'm doing. I do. I absolutely do. I'm just trying to give you an idea of how it works when you're doing a big one. It's clumsy too. You get about halfway through.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
And then once you get to that place, it's not clumsy like this anyway, but this is normal to have to fight with a little bit at the beginning. Yeah, maybe the thing is to put your fingers between like loops or something.
Yeah, that's not
and
a
kind of
bad idea.
keep it together. Let's see now. Somebody's going to tell me on here a good way to do it so that it doesn't do this. I bet you. And I welcome it. Go for it. Tell me. Just be nice. Don't say you don't look like you know what you're doing. Well, maybe I do. But I do know what I'm doing here. It's just, I've made hundreds of these. You'd think I would be a little bit swifter with it. Okay, see how that goes? Here, now I'm going to slide the tube bead through those.
Can you put it on the white part?
Yes, thank you.
I can't see.
Thank you, hubby. Okay, now, you can see how it slides over the tube bead. I love this. It's kind of like an abacus effect or something. I don't know. I just love movement. And then with that glitter in there too, the movement really makes it look special. And that's something that you can do that a lot of people maybe don't think of to do. This is really... You know what? Just because we're on a short time frame, I'm going to cut some of this off so we're not working with so much. It won't be the kind of bracelet I want it to be, but the point will be made, and that's what we need to do. Let's make the point. So let's see how far I get now. Yeah, this will be much easier. I always like to do the big ones though, so that's why I didn't start with it. Okay, so now I'm going to put a piece of bone bead, which is unexpected. You don't expect to see a piece of bone on a bracelet like this. And then I'm going to put, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put one of these big molten lava beads. That looks cool like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of Keshi next to it. Come on. Sometimes they'll fight you a little bit because the holes in them aren't as big. And then I'm going to put a spacer just because I can. The main thing is to keep balance. when you create these. Where's this? Okay, I'm going to use this little spiral twist bead. And then I'm going to put another piece of the Chalcedony. And then I think I'll put another piece of Keshi. This one's cupped, so it should fit nice. You have to look and see how they're formed. They're all natural. These are all natural, so, you know, they're random, and you could get any kind of look from them, you know. Okay, let's get this down here. Yeah, I should have started out with less just when I was demonstrating. I'm sorry, guys. But you can see how it's coming already. And then I'm going to put one of these bigger ones, blue goldstone, up. Now, if you enjoy working in patterns and you just feel that it looks better that way to you, then you work in a pattern. You figure out a pattern that you want, this bead, that bead, the next bead, and this is how it's going to go, and then you just do it, and that's fine. I'm going to put this in between because it makes kind of a spacer that holds a bead, so I'm going to use one of these orbit beads or planet beads here and put next to that. I love this color. It's kind of dreamy looking. I don't have any for this site yet, but they're on their way. We've had so many beads come in lately. The girls are banging their heads because they have so many beads to put on. I'm going to put another piece of Chalcedony on there now. I want to get this far enough so I can show you what I mean by balance, because that has a lot to do with looking down through from the top. So we have to have something to show to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to put another. These are 10 millimeter, by the way. A lot of people say, oh, I don't like that big of a bead. I only want 6 and I only want, you know, 8. But I have to tell you, if you're making beaded drops, they really look great.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking earrings and stuff like that. Ooh, that would look nice.
Yeah. So now I think I'm going to do something a little bit unexpected. I'm going to put one of these on, and then I'm going to put one of the black ones with the AB. I love the black ones with the AB. I had some black tubes that I had plated matte black, and I'm going to have to do that again because it came out. It was brilliant how they looked. It's not like matte black is not like gunmetal. Gunmetal has a hematite look to it, and it's full of nickel, which I'm not crazy about anything being full of nickel. See, you can see how this is coming. I don't know why I didn't think to just say we're going to do a little one, but I wanted to do a big one because I'm going to have this after it's all said and done. And I like bigger ones. Okay, so let's see how this is going to fall. Okay, so here's a little bit about balance. If I was to string on another noodle tube here, it would hit right at this side with this one, and I don't think I want that. I think I want it over here. So I'm going to have to keep going a little bit yet. Maybe I won't go quite that far, but I'll have to go a little bit yet farther. Okay, so then we'll do a molten lava. I don't know if you get the gist of, you know, my mixed up madness, but this is the way I do them.
I think I understand it.
Yeah. It's like planning all your stuff
first.
first.
Like you put one side bigger and the other side smaller.
Right.
And you pretty much balance how that is until the end.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like random looking things. I don't like super planned. That's why I like assemblage. That's my brain, I guess. The way my brain goes, it's like that. So, yes, it's much easier if you use only a few of these. We might even get done. Who knows? So now I'm going to do another Chalcedony, and then I'm going to do a bone disc bead. We have the most wonderful bone beads. They come from India. I work with a family over there. They get me my sari ribbon too. And such a nice family they are as well. And they sent me some recently. I just love them. They're really, really white. And I'm like, you know, I like that aged look, so what am I going to do? And then I thought, tea stain. So I just made a really strong cup of tea, and I put them down in the tea. And that was that. And it was all good. It looked great. Took them out. I only had to leave them in like 15 minutes maybe. And then I took them out and dried them off really good with a blow dryer. And that was it. You don't need to seal them or anything. They're fine. They're going to stay. So I'm going to put one of these. Now I'm going to put a big one next to that. And I'll put another wheel next to that. Let's see how that looks. Oh yeah. See, that makes it look like a bead on its own right there. Then I put another cap. Hope you guys can see this. Then I put another cap. I started out really great by putting my cap on the wrong way. Now you want to do it this way? No, you don't. I don't know. Sometimes I think by my flubs and trials of things you might learn more. I don't know. It is what it is. I had this all planned out too. Except there's too many strands. Okay, so see, that's a cool look there. Isn't it? That'd make a good pair of earrings even doing stuff like that. Or like stations on a necklace. Like that, station on a necklace. Be awesome.
Even just a little piece of that. Put it on a necklace.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
That would work.
Little station. Okay, so where was my tube bead now? Again, am I going to head up for right next to it? Well, I'm going to go a little bit more before I put it. And I think I'll do an orbit bead next to keep the balance. I'm using bigger beads on this one. See, when you look, whoops, I'm sorry, I bumped the camera. Did that hurt anything? No. When you look, when you look down through it, you'll see you have the same. You want to have the same size of beads. You know, going. I'm sorry. You want to see that you have the same size of beads as you go around, so that way you achieve balance. Just like when you're doing assemblage, you might be using really different things, but you need to get balance with it. So I'll put a little spacer in there for that, and I'm going to do one more of these.
You might have to show them a little bit sideways, like pull it up. Yeah, just like that, because
thanks, Javi.
you can't really see it.
Yeah, I don't want to make anybody frustrated. These, you know, it's worth it. If you want to know, you know, why in the world I do things the way I do, it's worth it to sit and watch this, even though it's kind of hard to show you. Okay, so you can see how it's coming out. See, this way. Okay, but you know what? At this rate, I'm gonna get done with it, so we'll be able to show you when we're done. So that'll be good. So this time I'm using an 8mm, and my caps do fit because they're made for 8mm, so that's good. Normally, this is the 8mm goldstone. Yeah, we do not have the faceted ones on the site. I'm trying to find a better price. That's why. Where I get them from is just too expensive, and it shouldn't be, because blue goldstone should not be expensive. It should not be expensive. You know why? It's glass. Did you know that? They normally sell goldstone right alongside of, you know, semi-precious beads, but it's not. It was a laboratory experiment that went wrong back in the late 1800s. No kidding. And it was what you call a happy accident. You ever have a happy accident? Well, somebody did.
Did you already put your noodle bead?
Nope, but I'm going to in a minute. I like to precede a noodle bead with something that'll be a stopper type thing. So that would be this, because that won't fit over the noodle bead. Okay, so now noodle bead. Here's another one. So glad that I brought these out.
Yeah, we have plenty of noodle beads on the site.
That's because they just arrived. Because we were out of a lot of them, but we're not now. Not now. Okay, so this is pretty tight. You can see, you know, how it goes. Okay. That went over the noodle bead. Okay, so let's keep going. Got my noodle on, so now what are we going to put on the noodle? Well, we got to put some big stuff. Big hole. Big holes.
Big hole items.
Big hole items.
So they can slide up with the
right, so now I'm going to do a gold bead. And I'll do one of these. What do I have in silver that would work? This will work. If I could just fish it out. There's all kinds of stuff down in here. I just got a bunch of stuff I want to experiment with for making these bracelets. They just calm me. Except I'm trying to teach you, and then I'm screwing it up. And that doesn't calm me. Oh well. Just do my best. Yeah, we're going to get done, because it's when you get this far, you're getting to the home stretch. You're going to make it and be done. And you don't have to put this many on your noodle bead either. You don't. And you can balance them, or you could just make them however. I just like them to slide a little bit. So that's enough now. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to do a bone bead. Hopefully this won't slide over. It has kind of a big hole. It did. Alright, so let's do another goldstone here. This one's not as sparkly. Yeah, they're glass, so they should not be that expensive. Normally they're not. We have some round ones that aren't faceted on the site. They're a very good price. But the faceted ones, of course, cost more because they require more, you know, to make. So now I'm going to put another blingy dingy on there, and I'm going to put another Chalcedony because I haven't put one for a while, so that's part of the balance thing going on too. And then I think because I haven't put a lot of noodle tube beads on there, I'm going to do another one. And I don't want that one, I want this one. I like these swirly ones. I didn't get any for the site yet because I wasn't sure from the description if they were going to fit over our memory wire, so I thought, well, let me just get some and we'll, you know, check that out. But they do. Yeah, I wasn't sure if they're going to work, but they did. They worked. They worked just fine. They were brilliant. Worked brilliantly. You have to coax those over a little bit. Sometimes they just need a little help. I really want to get this done while I'm on here. I didn't think I possibly could. See, this one's sticking because it's the angle of things. Once you get it the right, see, it went right over then. It's good. Now I want to get a little bling on there, so I'm going to use some of this black. I love this black AB. Oh, I'm nuts about it. Now, when you use a lot of this kind of stuff in your work, it's going to get spendy. No, there's no way around that. So, you know, if you're concerned about cost,
Oh, could you just use plastic beads or acrylic?
Yes, you could. You absolutely could use acrylic. I use acrylic a lot of times. Absolutely, you can, and that's always you know, an option for you to do that. I don't like these beads now. I gotta get some more. I don't like them for the intended purpose. This one's better. Okay. So now, get a few of these on here. And some Keshi. Just love the glow of the Keshi. So freeform and beautiful. And put another one of these. And another one of these. It's just very random, but I have a reason. I want it to balance. And you'll see. Now that's not going to go through there. So these will swing around on it. You'll see when I'm done how it goes. How that works out. Okay. So now I think I'm going to put another planet bead on there. Now you have to be careful you don't get your beads in the wrong place. You got to get them in the center hole, because when you get done, about the only thing you can do is take the whole thing apart, which is really annoying, or cut it out, cut it off. And that's like sad too. So
yeah, just really sad.
So I'm going to put a big one on this side, so it'll be just a little bit different type of bling. And then I'm going to put another one of these beautiful beads that I got on there. We have these on the website, by the way. Very nice beads. We got so many wonderful semi-precious beads, my goodness. And the prices are good. And of course, you know, we have lots of coupons at bsuboutiques.com. So right now, this week, we have one that you can get 20% off. But you'd have to use it this week. This is the week of August. What's today? 14th. Today's the 14th. So you'd have to get it to use, you know, before Sunday. But anyway, am I talking loud enough, Javi? I hope so. I tend to trail off sometimes. Okay, I'm going to try a bone bead up along my... See, I just did what I told you not to do. No, I didn't. Okay. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. We're going to make it. We're going to make it. Okay, now it's time to do some more goldstone. I just like to look and see where do I have it on the wire. It doesn't have to be a pattern. It's just like it has to like meet up. But like I say, you know, if a pattern is better for you, then do a pattern. However works best for you, that's how you should do it. That's the way it ought to go. I'll put this one this time and see how that looks. Ooh. We're getting there. Javi keeps wanting me to make my stuff like 20 minutes, which I think is excellent. That's the best way, or even less, which the last two I've been very successful, but this one I knew I wouldn't be because there's just so much to say and it takes time, and I wanted to show you as much as I could as I go along the way. But I'm going to pull this up and you're going to get a better sense of what this looks like.
Yeah, they can't really see.
Okay. Now, see the balance. When I get it pulled up and when I get it pulled up and done, you'll see much better about the balance of it. Okay. And actually, this one could be balanced a little bit better, but I'm hurrying, and that's what happens when you hurry. So now I don't like that one. Do you see what that did? It's like cupped on this side, so it's kind of catching that wrong. That'll make like a kink in it and you'll see the wire underneath. I do not like the wire to be showing. I like the wire to be covered, so that is not a good choice. This one will work better of the Keshi. I'm going to have to cut some more off too to get done. Okay, so now I'm going to do this. And I'm concentrating right now on the bigger beads because of the balance situation. Okay, now let's see where we are. Okay, it's time for another tube. We're getting there, we're getting there. Down to the finish. But remember, when you do this, it's not about hurrying. It's about making it the way you want it to look. So if you need to take some time with that, then you do that. You take some time. I made one and sold it right away the other day, and it took me all afternoon to put together. I have to make sure I'm on camera because I tend to bring things toward myself, which doesn't really work. Okay, so I'll put a little blingy dingy in there. Oops. And one more of these to hold it because they're kind of tight. Most of these beads we have at the website, we don't have all of them. Some are on their way. We have a lot of stuff coming and going. I have to be able to buy a little deeper. We had one bead that everybody loved and it just sold out immediately, which frustrates people. But come and see what we have because we put new stuff on almost every day. No kidding. Almost every day we have something new. And our Etsy store is the same way. Okay, so I put enough on there. Okay, now I'm coming down to the home stretch. So now I got to get just the right things on there. Let's do this one. Okay, let's see where we're at. I like to look down through and see how this is balancing. I think I'll put another one of these, although I really wish it was over here, to be honest with you. See, that's the kind of thing when you go slow that you notice. When you go too fast, you kind of don't get the best choices sometimes. And these make fantastic gifts too. So like, you know, if you don't sell, but see, I doubled up my bead cap there. I got two of them sticking together. See, I'm glad that was toward the end because I don't like that. Okay. Oops. Forgive me. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm going to do another one of these. And I'm going to do another goldstone. So now when I get to the end, I have to think a little bit how, this is going to fit up. And that's when I start looking to see what did I do on the last one. Like on the end of on the other end. Like this part right here. So what did I do here? Okay, I'm going to put one of these. I like to kind of get them, not the same stuff, but similar in size. Did I have a... Yeah, there's a noodle under there. So we'll put some more of those type beads. Normally I don't put noodles this close to the end.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
But, let's see. I would like to have one. I might not have enough room. No, I don't. So, next to that idea, that's not going to work. Let's do one of these. Let's do one of these, just because we can. And you don't have to have these on a noodle. They can, these little beads, they can go wherever you want them to go. So they don't have to be like that. Okay, let's see what we got here toward the end. I'm going to put a smaller piece of blingy. And then I've got a Chalcedony bead here. But you know what? I might need a piece of Keshi, because I haven't done one for a little bit. Nah, I don't like how that looks. It's too odd. Here's one. Let me get it off the strand. This is a good one. Because they're kind of odd shapes, some will go on certain things and others won't, So let's see. I'm gonna end it because I'm getting pretty tight. If you want to see how close up you are to the end, I take my flat nose and pull it up so I can see. And I'm about to the end of this. So it's time, I think, to put one of the bigger goldstone beads on here.
Put a smaller one.
Did I put an 8 millimeter? I think I'll have too much left over if I do that. Here's one. Whoops, there he goes. Bye-bye. Sometimes you have to look for a minute to find the hole. Yeah, this is good. This is all good. Okay, so we're about there. How long have I been saying that for, huh? Okay.
That's okay.
Marry you. Okay, so this is a little bit longer than I would normally have it be for the loop, so I'm going to carefully, because Hobby's sitting over there, cut some off. Oops.
I closed my eyes. So.
Yeah, close your eyes. Normally she should have goggles on.
Safety glasses.
That's one of those things, do as I say, not as I do.
Guys.
Don't do that.
You wear safety
glasses. I know I did that, but don't do that. Come on, you. All right. You want to get that closed all the way down. All right, here we go. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about balance before we finish up. Okay, now here is a situation. Okay, here's a situation. I may have to take this apart. Let me tell you why. Okay, do you see how this is kind of collapsing down on this side? It's not that bad. It might be okay, but there are a lot of high beads right here. But so let's hold it up this way. Let's see. Beautiful colors and stuff. Very unique, different things. You wouldn't think to put bone beads with bling. Let me put it on and see what we got. Now that's kind of cool how that falls in the middle there with the sliding effect. That's not bad. I kind of like that. Okay, so the other, okay, let's go. Okay, so, yeah, that's not too bad. I don't know, I may leave it. I gotta take a picture and I'll know better. Anytime you want to know what's going on with your jewelry and you want to get a really good sense for it, take a picture with your phone and then you'll know. Okay, so on here, I'm not going to do it now, but what I do normally is I put, I usually do a series of 3 dangles on the ends. And then they hang down. This one hangs down over here. Sometimes a good thing to use is a little bit of chain. If you have some fine, delicate chain, hang it here and then it hangs down over and it looks really cool. You could do like chain here, and then you could do a few beads here. Anything. It doesn't have to be all matchy. It can be however you want. So yeah, and this is very comfortable at this length too. Although I have to say I prefer it twice as big. But we got done. We finished. If you hung in there with me, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But this is how, it's going to be. It's done.
Cool.
So,
That's pretty nice.
Javi knows how to take really good. Do you like it, Javi?
Yeah,
see,
like
it's this piece, this
I
Keshi.
see it.
It's this Keshi that's holding it up, making it stick up. But it's okay when you put it on.
Yeah.
It worked out. But that's one of the things, like I say, make it with intention. I hurried. I didn't make it with intention. If I had gone slowly with my original plan, it would have come out differently. So keep that in mind. Take your time, okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope this was helpful. I've had a lot of people lately ask me, how do I go about this? What's the process? Well, this is the process. It's random but balanced. So think that. Random with balance. And then it helps a lot if you line your beads up first so you know what you're going to be working with. Then you can kind of see your palette. Okay? So you guys have a great day, and we'll be back with you soon. Bye-bye.